everyone. So today I'm doing an entrepreneurial profile on myself. I'm going to share my path through entrepreneurship, the exhilarations, the roller coaster rides and triumphs, and also the tribulation, up and downs. Uh, Sometimes it's not often spoken about, and sometimes we go with that ego. And I just wanted to share today. So, something, let's just jump right into it. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. Paula Mattisonsierra, Power Marketing SF, and the host of the show, 10 at 10. Today, I wanted to roll out a new format, and I've been rolling it out for the last couple of weeks now. Just diving deep into entrepreneurship, the stories of entrepreneurs, their paths and learnings. And a big part of the path is the ups and downs. It's not always highs. The only way to get there is to go through it, right? So I wanted to start focusing on real stories from entrepreneurs, their experiences, like I said, firsthand, and the lessons that they learned from it and the strategies that they had to employ and develop to overcome these adversities and move to success. So, like, no sugarcoating, no glossing it up on the difficult stuff, just authentic conversations that hopefully will inspire you guys, as well as you're either starting a business or if you're in it and you think that you're by yourself here. Over the last couple of weeks, I've discovered a curious thing from a few of my entrepreneurs that I'm speaking to, and even as myself, I'm like, am I sharing my authentic story enough? And sometimes people see you from the outside, the fact that you can handle certain things. And of course, they don't understand that, well, you're going through some things. But as entrepreneur, we're always taught to keep a really fantastic upper lip, right? Just keep moving, right? And so I want to make sure that those entrepreneurs that are out there who think that they're the only ones going through some stuff, over the next couple of weeks to the end of the year and possibly beyond, I'm going to reach out and, put on my roster those entrepreneurs who are willing to share real stories and help you move forward. So I figure if I'm going to ask, I should also do. You shouldn't ask someone to do something that you're unwilling to do yourself. So I figure I'd start with me. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the show. I guess my first thought is, what kind of got me on this entrepreneurial path in the first place? Like, what inspired me to take this leap of faith and start my own business? Bruce Lee is a big inspiration for me personally. I love his discipline and how he gets up and he just does it, right? Farmers are like that too. They get up and they just do it, right? And one of the things that he always says is to be like water. Now, of course, I didn't have the saying in my head when I absolutely first started, but I realized that that's what I was doing. When a boulder drops in your way in a very tight path, the best thing to do is to flow around it. If you see that boulder that keeps dropping into your path over and over again, for me as female, new to a brand new country, trying to figure it out, I figure the best thing to do is to flow around it. And the thing to do to flow around it was to build my own with my own rules, being in control so that I wouldn't have to succumb to anyone's uh, paradigms of how they were taught that, you know, what a Black female looks like and how they act and be in the workplace. Sometimes you fall prey to that too. It's like, so I'm going to say that I participated as well, because you're trying to fit in, but then you realize I need to move forward. in how I'm doing things. So my big leap of faith was just inspired by I can either wait for people to change or I can change. So I chose me. It's always best to bet on yourself. I think as you're going through as an entrepreneur, you're going to face a lot of obstacles and setbacks. Um, uh, the biggest obstacle that I think I faced was, as I'm thinking about it, I had, some things I was going to say, but I think the biggest obstacle to anyone, whether you're trying to be the best doctor or the best lawyer or the best accountant or the best entrepreneur that you can be, the biggest obstacle that you'll face is yourself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is the biggest obstacle. You have to win the battle in your head of yourself, because you're going on all the self doubt, all the, well, this is what everyone has said about me. Now you're participating in your own demise. People who are uncomfortable with the thing that you're a genius in. And now you're listening to them a little bit and participating. And then you're repeating those stories in your head over and over again. And so yeah, I think that one may be a continuing battle and obstacle when things are going too well for you to say, do I deserve this? Am I good enough? Even though everyone's like, oh my gosh, thank you, that was fantastic. And you'll hear me talk about it on this show when I talk about marketing, right? I speak about marketing and people just getting out in front of this new world that they're in. And one of the big things that I often say is just try it, just do it, just get on video, just write a blog, just start with one step. You don't have to think about anything else, just take one step and don't care about what it looks like. I'd say 9 out of 10, probably even more than that. Let's go push the percentage art. 98% that no one even sees the speck that you see. Like, oh my gosh, did they see this right here? Did they see this? Did they see the shirt? Did they, you know, people are focused on other things. And yes, you're gonna have that 2% who are going to call you and go, oh, there was a comma missing behind. But you're going to have those people, but we can't have those conversations because of those people. Haters are going to hate is what they do. And they're never satiated by it. So if we create our businesses, how we move forward, how we present in the world, how we present to our clients based on those people who are overly critical of everything, we're not going to do anything. So I'd say the biggest obstacle as an entrepreneur, and let me know if you guys agree or not on that one, is yourself. Um, you know, how do I feel about this? So I think that's the biggest challenge. Um, Many entrepreneurs, I think, struggle with finding their niche. So how did I identify mine? Oh, well, I worked in corporate America. I worked for myself prior to that. I was a real estate agent. I worked in big, large companies, Westinghouse, Viacom, even before I graduated from college, because I really believe in seeing the inside. Not no hit to working at the McDonald's of the world, but for me, I feel that the only way that you're going to learn within your field is to see the back end. So if you want to be a doctor, while you're in college, take a part-time job as a filing clerk in a doctor's office, or, take a quick course, like it's a 6 month course on being a medical assistant. So you can be in the office working part-time, or a dentist, so being a dental hygienist or something. I really truly believe that, yes, college is like friggin' amazing because it teaches you how to think and to discuss, and that seasons you until you get to a certain point. But I also believe in getting out there and seeing the back end of things as well, so that when you truly get out and you're finished with college, you can actually make some proper decisions. You want to be a lawyer? Go work in a lawyer's office. You don't have to be a lawyer. You could do something else just so that you can see how things operate in the world. I think it's important. That's just me. And so when I went through that entire path, I also did corporate America, worked with large accounts on the advertising agency side, was able to see that part of it. um, I realized that I liked a certain level. I liked that mid-market level. I liked working with the entrepreneurs. I I love entrepreneurs. I love the way their mind works. I love their genius. Yeah, sometimes they're all over the place as well, but you got to respect someone who started the business, right? And who had gotten it. Now they're like 10 years in and working it in a very different way. Yes, it's amazing to work with much, much larger businesses as well. Because in my business, I do that as well. But I truly am so inspired by working with entrepreneurs. Their level of knowledge about running their business, managing their people, even the way they manage their families on the other end as well, because the better ones aren't just focused on their business only. They're also trying to see both sides as well, and that's inspiring to me. So for me, that's my niche. Along the way, of course, you mentors, I think, plays a crucial role in your personal development. So, my mentors, I think my family is definitely a mentor for me, and good and bad, because I'm the youngest in my family. There's six of us. My mom, um, but I think mentors can also be good and bad as well, because you could see the trials and tribulations that someone goes through and go the opposite way. They don't always have to be sagient, and wise. Sometimes they can be foolish and make mistakes, focus on the wrong things, and those things are all fantastic. Yeah, I have to say, like, one of my first mentors, because I used to just watch him, and he would just be super aggressive with me. It was when I was in real estate. I used to work with, I know he's not on LinkedIn. It's like, so hopefully someone sees it and like shares it with them. But Sheldon Stein, he saw something in a 19-year-old, allowed them to be a real estate person in their boutique real estate company, and allowed me to learn, and would just tell me things if I was like out of sorts. Um, One of my best learnings, and this is as a 19, I mean, so this is already a big deal, right? I'm what, at that point, 3 years into being in America, and I'm a real estate agent. I'm graduated from high school, and I'm working for this gentleman and his partners. And he said to me, because there was this one client, this is just horrible. He would just call me chew me out for no reason, and one day he just came over to my desk and just hung up the phone as I was speaking, mid thought, just hung it up and just said, "Not all money is good money. Not all money is good money." And sometimes you sell your soul for it. It takes away from, of course, now I realize that it takes away from time with your better clients, because you're chasing this person who's clearly going through a lot of crap that has nothing to do with you. You're internalizing it. And listen, and this is for seasoned entrepreneurs too, because we all do this. We see the money and don't realize that you have to sell your soul to work with, or even be friends with, or, that person in your family, to be close to them and work with them. There's a lot that they take from you, right? Because they take from the emotional bank account that you can give back to the good people who are actually the great clients and all of that. So that was like the best thing that I ever learned from Sheldon. I guess the other one, definitely, foremost, my first mentor was my mom, and my sister Annie. Um, And I remember my mom saying to me, because listen, I am from small stock. I'm the tallest in my family of the 6 kids. And I remember my mom saying to me, how you got to stand up for yourself, because even if you get in trouble, you have to stand up to the bullies. It's always curious to me that schools never see when the bully does anything. Have you ever noticed that? But when these kids are finally fed up and they react to the bully, they're always one that gets in trouble. And I think most people are like, well, be better, take the higher road. My mom was having none of that. She'd already been through 5 other kids. And she's like, sometimes you need to pop that kid. Like, only way to know not to do something if someone actually stands up and disciplines that kid. Of course, nowadays that's a hard lesson to tell kids because kids bring guns to school and all this stuff. But I think the lesson is still the same. You got to stand up to the bullies, and those bullies are now working with us, and they're vendors, and you see them on trains and in Target, and sometimes you've got to stand up and you can't always walk away. And standing up isn't some movie, it's not going to be perfect. Sometimes you're going to get a little dirty. You have to get dirty a bit when you decide to stand up. But the curious thing that happens is those bullies usually leave you alone and move on to the easy targets. And so I believe in standing up. And also knowing when it's over, right? If it's over, it's over. The other lesson that I also got from my mom that I really loved is know when you've won, take the high ground. Never say anything, and I mean anything, about someone that you can't say to them when they're there. So if they're there and you feel the need to say it, but never say anything about people when they're not there. And I've never done that. I don't say things about people that I can't comfortably say in front of them. And by the way, that's a lesson to you guys. I think, hopefully I'm sharing some thought here. What will they say about you when you're not there? They're sharing with you, you're absorbing, you're affirming, you're not countering. But understand that when you're not around, that's how they're going to treat you as well. I'm just saying, putting it out there, but I had some great mentors, and I think it's important as you're in your business to also choose great mentors, business coaches as well. To me, they're just mentors who are paid. Great mentors who are paid. They're coming in with a structure for your business as well. Um, the other item is around learning. So, how do you develop and learn more? I mean, I hear people who say things like, I don't have time to learn, or I don't have time to read, or I don't have time to exercise, or but I am busy running a business. I'm like, I hear them say that, like, it makes me lose a breath. I pulled out a couple of things that I'm liking right now. I love the 29% solution. It's a BNI book, and I know a couple of you out there have aversions to BNI, but it's the bomb. It's what all of your networking groups are built on because it's the original networking group. I love it. And I love what others have taken and done with it. But 29% solutions, it's like a 52-week networking strategy. So I wanted to prepare for 2024, and do that. This one is from my guest last week, Krista Mitzel, partner of Mitzel Group. Total badass. Sent this to me as a gift. Necessary findings, endings. I haven't started it yet, but I read through some reviews online, and I'm so excited to include this one in. Here's another one of my favorite. As you can see, I have like a little marker in there, like my little butterfly clip. But right now I'm loving Money and the Law of Attraction. I've been through this one a couple of times. And I feel like I learned something every single time. And again, this is just what I'm listening to, doing right now. Um, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. Love this one as well. One of the things I learned in this book that I still use till this day, and I think I only encountered this book like maybe five, 5 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 2017. Um, I learned from this book there's a lot of skilled people out there who could be working for you or working with you or networking with you. But nice is always a better one because you can't teach people how to be nice. They either are or they aren't. And if it's something that they haven't worked into their DNA, leave it alone. And you can't force this onto people. And a lot of people do that. You know, you saw it over our politically, we've been so weird because a phrase came out of it that I just hate, which is what she really meant to say was, or what he meant to say was, I hate that so much. Why are you trying to come up with what the person said? They're speaking English, you know, stop translating it. They literally said what they said. So learning to listen to what folks actually said is like a big one. I love this one. But yeah, continued learning, I think, is and making it part of your week, just kind of adding in. I mean, you have an hour to sit and watch Netflix, right? You can take an hour and either sit or read or listen when you're on a walk, or in your car. I don't think there's any excuse for not learning and growing. And I do know a lot of people dig in their roots, and it's a thing to just, I'm just going deep on this and what I know. But we're in a world where everything's so evolving, like all the time right now. Why would you not want to add to that genius and learn and develop? So that's just my thought. But um, reflecting on my journey, what advice would I give to my younger self? Um, and by the way, I wrote these questions out right before I came on this morning as I rejigged everything today, because of a last minute change up that we had to do. But so I haven't had time to like think about it and explore it. So if you hear me pausing, don't judge, crazy people. I know you're out there. um, uh, what advice would I give myself? I would have started earlier. I definitely would have started earlier. When I first came to America, I have to say I hated high school so much. I hated the system of how things were done. I took my GED and I nailed it hard. Um, Looked into going to Hunter College early. They would have taken me early. I should have actually done it. You don't always have to follow the rules of how the game is played. And especially now, of course, now we're hearing it, but this was what? This would have been like 1982 or something, 1983. Um, I should have just done it. No one says that you have to follow the rules as they were laid out. There is no book that says this has to be your path. High school, college, PhD, blah, 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 blah. Everyone has a different path that they should be on. And when you feel it, you should just roll with it, you know? So I would have started a lot earlier. Um, I The other thing is I wouldn't have been so shy about reading. Prior to that, I mean, I loved reading when I was growing up in Jamaica, you know. But then when I came to America, I felt like there was so much stimulation, and I really did feel like I was on my own at 15, trying to learn a new country. Some people are better at it than others. They get it. They move real fast. It took me a while with just everything that was going on personally and uh, um, academically as well. And that when I say academically, I meant high school sucked. And by the way, I was going to a private school. I hated high school so much in America, and I was missing my high school so much in Jamaica. I never thought that I would miss being with such badass girls who were just A students who were doing it. That was not necessarily the way in America. And I just didn't understand like why my sneakers matter and my clothes matter more than anything else. I just wasn't getting that newsletter properly. But uh, the other thing that I would have told my younger self is starting very, very early. Relationships matter. Even who you marry, your choice of a partner matters in your success. Um, and choice of friends also matter in your success. Always, always aim way above you. I mean, I know some people like to be, I want to be the best, so I can tell everyone in my friend group, how much better I am or show them. I like that was never me to begin with, but I think I did play it safe a little bit. I wish I'd gone much higher with friends because it's like being in a rapid river. They pull you along, whether you like it or not. And choice of mate as well is also a big deal as well. You need to have a priority of who you want to spend that path with, who you want to be on that path with, and people need to be there for you. So what are the things that make you happy, and truly ask for it. And when you don't see it, no huff, no muss, just step away from it. um, uh, and of course, like I said, reading, I would have started my path on a lot more mindfulness reading a lot earlier, because sometimes we get taught things by our family that aren't really true. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Are total BS. They learned it from their parents, and their parents learned it from their parents. And now you hear some family going, well, that's just the way we do it. Why? Well, that's the way we've always done it. Why? I was part of that as well. So I would say definitely I would have started on my path, getting away from some of that mindset, and be okay learning something new. I was in a lot of conflict about it. So I would have started earlier. Now I love to crunch through like audiobooks. Like, I mean, I usually go to two or three a week. And then I usually like take my time and go through like a book where I'd read the month. So, but uh, yeah, that's my advice to you guys. And I guess my last big one is, don't be afraid to take chances. Don't always play it so safe. The only way that you learn, even when big things happen, is to take chances. And it's not always going to be perfect, but do it. And lastly, it is take ultimate responsibility for everything. I know some people go by the the mirror versus the window concept, where they like to point outside at everything, um, instead of looking in the mirror, because really a lot of times it's kind of us. But take ultimate responsibility in everything, every action, and when you see it, just make a change in it, and just don't stay there for too long. And don't stay there with people who um, like to live there. 'Cause some people do love to live there. So anyway, so that's my advice. That's the things that I've been through. That's my learning. I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope you got some great books out of it. Thank you so much. Share this with a friend. Um, and like I said, starting next week, we're going to just be asking some of these questions as well and more from other entrepreneurs as well. So I'm excited to share. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We're going into fourth quarter, and the show's been going on since 2017. Please reach out anytime if you guys are in need of marketing at powermarketingsf.com. My continued mission, as always, is to just share information from everyday experts, entrepreneurs sharing their journey. to up-level you. And of course, if you're intrigued in marketing, I'll be sharing some of that as well, just within the learning. Airs every Thursday, 10 at 10, is on every Thursday on LinkedIn. This is a live show. And so my guests will also be live as well. My closing quote today is, I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is actually not trying. Jeff Bezos, founder and CEO of Amazon. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Hope to see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.